There isn't enough car-related pain in my life.
A new car. It's a Porsche Cayenne. Yeah!
What a motor!
My Cayenne is now for sale.
It's absolutely shagged.
If someone gives me £3.5 for that car, I'm £5 deep in that. If someone gives me £3.5 for that car, you can have it.
Shut up and take my money.
Sadly, it wasn't to be. I'll let Alex explain.
Yeah, so what actually happened was I promised Tom that I would give the car a service, give it a clean inside and out. And as I was doing that, I asked my good friend Josh, who's a mechanic, to check the Cayenne over for me, because Tom, you said that you wanted to use it for a series, you wanted to take your family, you wanted to drive to Stuttgart and all that. And I thought, probably wise if I get it checked over. So brought it into my unit. And then, yeah, Josh and I found a few minor issues which I didn't even know about, namely the rear coil springs. They were snapped. I've been towing with that for ages. I had no idea. The car sits a tiny little bit lower, but you'd never know until you jack it up and have a look at the snapped rear springs. What else? The 4x4 light that I've been driving with for 6 months. Apparently not such a good idea to be driving with that on. So again, I don't know if that's done any damage, but I'd rather probably not sell it to someone like you, because you're going to be making good use of it, and if it breaks down, then I'm going to feel really, really bad. Then there was the exhaust blow, which is apparently a nightmare to get to. It's at the front. And finally, the rear brakes are complete toast. Like, they're not actually really functioning. So, you know, you agreed £3.5. You even gave me a deposit, which was lovely. But then I messaged you, Tom, and I said, look, these are the issues. Personally, I don't feel comfortable selling you this car for this amount. It needs a lot of work. It needs probably £1.5–2 spending on it to get absolutely right. There are a few other niggles as well with it. And I don't think you need that in your life. You do like automotive financial mistakes, but I think this would have been quite a big one. So, yeah, we agreed I would give you your deposit back. And then you decided to make an even bigger mistake.
With Alex's Cayenne having fallen through and the Punto off the road due to its gearbox mount leaving this mortal coil, I was kind of stuck and I needed a car. Fortunately, I could rely on my superpower, poor impulse control.
Soon I will have a new
project car.
One far younger and more powerful.
Our journey starts in South Essex and I have to travel all the way through London up to Birmingham to collect the car and then drive it back. There's plenty of chance for failure, so let's get started.
Introducing Cayenne
Turbo S. Massive shout out for Alex for not just selling me a pup. It's, you know, it's really great that he didn't, and it's also great that he's only going to continue to be working on it. It's going to be nice to see that Cayenne back on the road. Your standard turbo, I think, puts out around 450 brake horsepower. This 521. It is a pretty punchy beast. I think this is also the cheapest Turbo S in the country. I think I paid overall just a fraction over £9,500. I think I did basically everything that you're not supposed to do when it comes to buying a car. The owner met me at the station, so I couldn't check the car when it was cold. I need to apply for the V5C because the owner's misplaced it. Well, actually, no, he's already applied for it, so he's going to send that down to me in a couple of days. And I bought it in a petrol station car park. The story just gets better and better, folks. But for now, I think my mission is to get to Caffeine and Machine, because I've never been there before. So I'm going to go there, have some lunch, gaze at my new purchase, and go from there. Oh, yeah.
I told myself that maybe he ain't worth it. Too bad I hate advice. 'Cause out of sight and out of mind is perfect. It's so hard to decide. Oh, I know he got me good in his pocket. I know that I missed a treat. Well, the taste is better. Oh, go on, chewing my bones
got no Christmas tree lights on the dashboard. Everything seems to be working. The differential lock works, all that sort of stuff. Ooh, I've got an oil temperature thing. That's cool. So oil temperature looks good. Water temperature looks good. Turbo pressure boost gauge thing. I've never had a boost gauge before. That's exciting. Not only have I made a sensible decision with my next project car that I didn't get something overly sporty and uncomfortable and harsh riding, I got a sensible family vehicle. Look at this. It's got 4 doors, it's got 4 seats, it's got heated seats front and rear, so my kids will be happy. This is like a genius idea. Like, what literally could go wrong? Everything. For a 160,000 mile car, this feels very, very put together. It does smell a bit of dog though, because the owner had dogs, and it definitely needs a full detox scrub thing, because definitely smells a bit like wet dog. Oh, it does pick up well. It does pick up well. Definitely takes a little while to get going. Takes a little while. But when she gets there, ladies and gents, when she gets there, this thing can fly. And I'm still only going up to national speed limit. But yeah, this thing is punchy and you don't feel it. That's the big difference. I think in a lot of other cars I've driven, you feel when you're going fast, there's a big sort of jolt of torque instantaneously, whereas this is just that unassailable, inescapable progression of torque up to national speed limits. But I'm really excited to have this as a new project car. It's the 75th anniversary of Porsche this year, and whilst I couldn't really justify getting a 911, A, because I don't have that much spare cash lying around, particularly on the maintenance side. He says buying a 160,000 mile Porsche Cayenne, which doesn't really have the best history for reliability, but I'm digressing. I couldn't really get a 911 because I've got a young family, and that meant I can't really get a Boxster, and Panameras were too much, so my hands are tied. Kind of had to get the Cayenne. I bought a Porsche. Never had a Porsche before. Maybe I should get a cap and a jacket. Go full bell end. Have lost 40 miles of range in the last 10 minutes though. I don't think this is going to be a very economical car. I think the standard V8 is bad. So whacking 2 turbos onto it, I don't think it's really going to improve it. So apparently I can get 27 on a run. I don't know how to bring up the fuel computer at the moment. I assume that it has one. I imagine for the cost of this vehicle it should, but you know what Porsche is like. They grudgingly give you a steering wheel and everything else is an option. So economy, gonna be terrible. Insurance wasn't too bad. I think it was about 30 extra quid on top of the previous policy that I had for the Mini. I don't know how much that was. It's probably best not to ask. Same thing with the car tax. I think it's £695. So that's gonna be a spicy meatball. I think I might even treat myself to a proper detailing set for brushes and stuff. I've been making do with like paint brushes and things like that. I think a car of this provenance, of its caliber, of this mark, deserves some proper equipment to clean it, because I need to get into all sort of the crevices and all that sort of stuff, because there's just like goo everywhere, which is a bit grim. This is a very comfortable car. I know I've said it multiple times, but it's actually really nice to buy a car finally that's comfortable. You know, I've learned, I've grown, you know, I'm not just repeating the same mistakes. Well, this could be a massive financial mistake, we'll find out, but at least it's a comfortable financial mistake. You know, it's good to be comfortable when you're funneling tons of cash into a questionable car. Hopefully that's not this car though. I'm interested to see what you guys think of this car, so let me know in the comments below. I'm really intrigued to see what you think. It's definitely not Italian, it's definitely not a Punto. So yeah, let me know what you think. I think this is a totally sensible purchase. You may or may not agree with me. And there's lots of stuff to come on this car. I've got a bunch of videos already mapped out in my mind. There's road trips, there's museum visits, because I definitely want to go to the Porsche Museum in Stuttgart, and a whole bunch of other things. And with that, we're done with another episode. If you watched this far, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you consider liking and subscribing. And with that, I'll catch you down the road.